Yo, Tony D, Mega Comic Action coming at you from Speeding Bullet with my guy, Matt Price. Say hi to him, Matt.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
So what we have is a collection that has, got to get my hand in there, that has been bestowed upon Matt. Give me a little bit of the background on how you came into this. Is this someone's collection?
Yeah, a lot of it. So most of this came from Rachel's, our regular buyer, as you know, when she was just working. Guy came in and said, I guess his dad had passed away several years ago.
Oh wow!
And they were cleaning out a closet or whatever, and came up with some comics and
wow.
And wanted to know, he said, I think he maybe offered a couple places and didn't really, I don't know if he didn't get a vibe or whatever. I'm not sure, but anyway, Rachel's really good about explaining.
Yeah,
she's
how
awesome. It works.
Hmm.
Here's kind of what we can offer. Obviously, if you want to get full maximum retail value, you can do eBay or whatever.
Yeah,
but here's kind of what we can do. She talked to him, I think it seemed like it went pretty well. She made him an offer, and we got some stuff, and so it's exciting to, always excited to get new stuff in.
Yeah, and so Rachel's your daughter, just for the peep.
For the record here,
Yeah. She is awesome. She always treats me well at the shop. I give you shouts out all the time on the channel. You always work with me. You're always cool to me. That's a typical story, what you just told, where there's a tragedy in the family. Someone passes on, they have a collection. And I've talked about that on the channel, kind of like with me in particular, kind of the goal of having a collection is to pass it on to my nephew. And hopefully he passes it on to his nephew or who, I mean? Like keep the, whether we know it or not, it is an investment. Well, you know what I mean?
Sure. And I mean, in some cases, a lot of stuff, probably the biggest majority of stuff we buy is people who are like, I've collected and now I've got all this stuff and I'm not as into this part of it anymore.
Yeah, for real.
Like, I'm not as into Batman now. I'm more into Spider-Man. I like to sell my Batmans and buy more Spider-Mans.
Yeah,
that's what probably most of the stuff we have coming in is. But we do have some people who, for whatever reason, there's like, well, we're out of space and the person who collected this isn't around anymore. And
right.
So, depending on your life, you may not necessarily have the time to I don't want to go through all these boxes and figure out what it is.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of what we tell people is like, you're getting definitely a percentage of the value versus if you did it all yourself, but also, I don't know what your life is like. You may not have time to do all this.
Yeah. So. They call it, what do they call it? Opportunity costs. Like, while I'm doing this, I could be doing this. So I totally get that. I just did a video on that yesterday. It's the Faust video. I picked up a Faust. Is it Faust or Faust?
I think it's Faust.
Yeah. So I picked up an issue 1 that I had on my want list. And the topic just came up, like, it popped in my mind, like, how do people become burnt out? How do they, how does it happen? It just kind of like, it's a horrifying thought for me because it's like, how does it happen? Have you ran into people that are like in that scenario where they just want to get rid of it?
Sure. I mean, you can have life changes. I mean, certainly people have kids. Maybe they used to have a home to dedicate to.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, other things.
And now it's like, well, now that's my priority is the kid as opposed to the comics.
Yeah, totally.
There's people who, that maybe they've gone through an illness or, we've had people who kind of aged out to where they used to like comics and they just can't see them as well.
Yeah, that's like...
And so there's all kinds of reasons that you might want to pass your stuff on, and we want to make it as easy as possible when we buy stuff.
You guys work with people. Yeah, man, if you got a collection, check out Speeding Bullets.
We try, like I said, I'm sure we don't pay... There are probably people who pay more. There are definitely people who pay less.
Well...
One thing we try to do is, like, if you have a whole bunch of stuff, and if you get to talk to Rachel, because she's the one who handles it.
She's
awesome.
But
we tend to take... okay, if you got all of it, we'll just take all of it, not cherry pick the 1 or 2 things.
The one thing I noticed when people come in is that you guys are very upfront, very honest about the process.
I mean, kind of psychology of people, and if they've seen on eBay, well, I saw, maybe they don't know what a 9.8 is, but like, I saw there was a 9.8 version of this, and it sold for $1,000. So I think mine that doesn't have the cover on it should all, I mean, it's hard to
Yeah.
explain all that if that's not something that you're into.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're more likely to think somebody's trying to take advantage of you. So
Sure. And that's eBay's a very good point, because a lot of people, you need to go to what has sold. And if you don't know how to get to that, like, it's an easy thing to Google. Don't go by what's being asked. Go by what's being sold. Like what, because they have a section that shows you.
Yeah, what's been sold. But even then, it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
If you're talking about grades.
But it gives you kind of like a starting point a little bit.
Certainly not bad to have some information if you want it. I mean, I would say
it's good research.
The people that we deal the most with are people who just like, I have these and I don't have time.
Yeah, I ran into that.
I don't have time to deal with it. And so whatever makes sense for you makes sense for me, because really I just need my closet, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. A guy at work was in the same situation, and I was like, do you realize what you got? And one thing that's bad about me was my excitement level was extremely high, and it's only because I'm seeing like the second appearance of Black Cat. I see Frank Miller Wolverine run the miniseries.
Also, your excitement level is just high anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I see
know.
Well, then I see the silent issue, and then I see Amazing Spider-Man 238. And when I see 238, I was like, dude, please have the stamp.
Check for the tattoos.
Please have the tattoo. Yeah, please have the tattoo. It's gone, but it's a nice copy, man. Like I've flexed it on the channel before. I say flex, but I've shown it, and it's minty fresh, man. But what are you gonna do? A kid that wants a tattoo to show his girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I don't know.
It's fun though, man.
If that's that's a strange deal, because there's also that Fantastic Four issue that has the tattoos. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
Tell me about it.
I can't remember. I'm not going to remember the number offhand, but it's in the Burn Run. It's one that's sideways, but it also has the tattoos in it. So a lot of people have migrated the tattoos from that book, which is probably like, at one point was a $10 or $20 book. Into the Spider-Man, because that was a more expensive book. So much so that issue of FF with the tattoos is now pretty expensive, because a lot of the tattoos got migrated out of that book.
What do you mean migrated? What is that?
Because they just unstapled them and moved them from.
Oh, so
is that strictly
some shenanigans?
Is it strictly ethical? I don't know. I mean, but if you had a 238 and you didn't have the tattoos,
good discussion.
And at the time you could buy the Fantastic Four issue for $5 that did have the tattoos, and raise the price of your Spider-Man by whatever, $50 at the time.
Yeah, so what they're
doing, a lot of people did that.
Yeah, to recap, is they're taking the tattoo out of a book and putting it in another book to complete it. Wouldn't that be, do they consider that restoration, or
if it's noticeable? Possibly. I actually don't know I don't know what CGC does on that. They probably have a
That's a
policy.
whole nother thing, man.
That'd be a question for a grader, maybe.
Well, let me ask you this.
I don't know that I would be able to tell if I saw 238 with the tattoos.
That's the problem.
I don't know that I'd be able to tell.
That's the problem, right? Yeah, man. Let's talk about CGC. I've changed my mind. I dipped my toe into that world, which I thought it was cool. I think you should experience things for yourself to develop a healthy opinion. And I went ahead, got a membership. And what brought this on is like my membership was going to auto renew, and I turned it off. And what I did was I sent 4 books in, and I was pretty jazzed about it. It was from that collection. I sent in the silent issue, Wolverine 1 from Frank Miller miniseries, the Secret Wars with Spider-Man getting his suit.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
The Secret Wars 8 or Spider-Man 252?
I think it's 8. So I sent that in, and Amazing Spider-Man, where I think it's the first cover appearance with the black suit.
Okay, that's 252.
Is that Web or okay? Yeah, 252. So I sent them in, and a lot of that intention was to get a feel of where this collection was. Like I thought,
how it might
with the sampling of that, I thought, okay, I can get a gauge for the rest of this. But then in my mind, I was like, okay, what are the next 4 that you're going to send in? And I was going all in, bro. Like, I'm going to get 4 more, send them in, and I'm just going to keep going. And then I stopped myself, and it was just, I like them raw. Like the channel actually saved me, where I say save me, but it's, the channel is, I'm looking at them, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like if I grade them, I can't get them out, and it's a great discussion. But I don't I don't think it's a negative thing, people getting them graded. I definitely don't hate on that. But as a store owner, what's your viewpoint on graded? It's probably healthier
I
than
mean,
mine.
I don't know. Different people do it different ways, and it kind of depends on what your goals are. We actually have more graded stuff in right now than we usually have, but
Yeah,
it's not really my wheelhouse. Although we've been buying some here and there.
right.
Right now, we have an Avengers one in that's graded. That
what?
sort of makes sense to have graded because, like, what are you going to read it every weekend? Probably not.
That's a good point.
It's probably one where it makes sense to have it as protected as you can.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess with it.
But I mean, I'm not a big grader because I do like to read my comics. I have,
You're like me,
I have a
I
handful
think.
in my personal collection, and we have some of the store. It's never been our main thing.
Yeah.
I understand the appeal, especially if
Right.
you've got really old stuff or stuff that you're trying to prevent any further deterioration as much as possible.
That's true.
But I don't know. I think everybody should enjoy the hobby however they enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a resounding opinion for sure that I hear from people.
But yeah, there's certain things I'm not going to do. And I kind of grew up in the hobby where there wasn't that much difference in price between like a VG and a Fine and a VF. Really, like
Yeah.
the price splits weren't that
Yeah,
huge.
you're right.
And now they're much bigger, and the between the VF and say the 9.4, 9.6, 9.8 are much bigger.
Yeah, it's huge.
I don't know. Part of me wonders if that's healthy, but it's like, well, it's not up to me. It's the whole market. But
Yeah.
for example, does a 9.2 issue of something versus a 9.8 something? That's very minimal in differences and in deficiencies. So that's not of interest as much to me. Although, you know, obviously, if I buy something that's a 9.8 and it's graded, I'll probably sell it according to the market value. So.
And you know what's funny is like my nephew got a graded book here, and it's my favorite graded book, and I did a video on it, and it's because he picked it out. It was a Deadpool. It's like, who's grading Deadpool books though? You know what I mean? But like the cool thing was he came in, he found it, he picked it out, and I totally cherish it. It's a funny cover, and I know I can tell it has his personality. It's Deadpool partying with some people.
Yeah. There's certain books that I like this book so
cool.
much, I might get, you know, and maybe that's how most people do it. Like, I'm going to get my 10 favorite books, and I'm going to get those graded.
Yeah,
I used to not really do autographs, and then over the last few years, I've sort of been like, well, what if I get an autograph from each of my favorite 10 people or 50 or, you know, and it's kind of spread out to where
That's
now.
one of them's me, right? Like,
Sure. So I start, because that just gives you something else. Kind of like, you don't have to collect everything to, you know, because at some point there's a space issue. You've been collecting long enough, there's a space issue.
Yeah, dude, there is.
So maybe I can't own every comic Mike Grell ever did, even though I might like Mike Grell, but I can, you know,
Mike
read
Grell's
them and
awesome.
then sell them, and then maybe I buy, you know, a signed copy to represent that in my collection, or try to do things to where you don't have to take up my entire house just to have all the comics that I like.
It's funny you mentioned signing because they like grade signatures now.
Yeah.
Which is like, I thought, geez, dude, like, are you kidding me, man? Like, you're going that? But there's probably a need for it, right? Like, some of those
there's a
signatures,
handful of people. I mean,
they're faded, bro.
And there's some that are probably. I mean, making sure that they're real is probably important to some degree, depending on what you're spending for it.
Yeah.
If you're spending an extra, I mean, like, we don't have anything other than the notes that we make for stuff that show a lot of stuff that we have signed. It's like, we might have a note that says this was signed because it was part of this collection, but a lot of it we don't. But it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. You think I sit around all day like faking a signature, making extra $5? I can barely remember my signature.
Some people, yeah, they dig that stuff. But me, it's like, if I didn't meet the person, like if it wasn't, this is just me, if it wasn't a personal experience with the author or the writer, it feels kind of, now I do have some Dynamic Forces that were signed with limited copies, but I would feel weird buying one.
I guess
Like,
since I did a lot of interviews with people and met a lot of people, and that wasn't really, and a lot of times I felt like, well, I shouldn't really be asking them for an autograph because I'm dealing with them in sort of professional capacity.
yeah.
But now it's like, well, now would I want to go back? I interviewed Kurt Busiek, but I didn't ask him for a signature then. But I'll go. But I like his work, so I'm going to buy a book that's signed by him.
Man, for sure.
This is just my mental gymnastics. People can do it however they want to. So.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. Whatever their prerogative is, that's what's beautiful about the hobby, is there's all these different avenues, options to how we collect, and it's like it's all open, man. Do what you want to do what you feel good about, and like do. My advice to people is always experience it a little bit before you develop your viewpoint. That way it's solid. That's why I thought for me it was important to, and it's expensive, man. If you don't have money, I mean, you're gonna have an opinion, but the membership was like 120, I believe, for a year, and the 4 books I sent in, it was like, I'm trying to remember maybe 150, because I went ahead and had them clean and press. It just made sense. Yeah, it was maybe 150. When you get shipping and handling is the devil.
So I think, and again, I guess what I'm saying is I'm not an expert in it, but I'm sure for the people who that's the kind of stuff they want to deal in, it makes a certain amount of sense.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of grew up as a kid who would like, my dad would give me $3. He'd be like, go pick out, comics out of the 25-cent box or whatever.
That's a lot of money,
like,
man.
I remember one time my brother spent the whole $3 on one comic, and my mom
Did you
and dad were
freak
like,
out?
"Are you kidding me?"
Your mom did?
Yeah, they were both like, "You spent $3 on one comic?" Because I guess they probably knew comics were $1 or 75 cents at that point.
Well, let me ask you this: were your parents in the comics?
They read them as kids, and my mom will read Archie. And my dad was collected like
cool, dude.
Superman and stuff as a kid, but he kind of got out of it he's still a reader. He reads a lot of mystery novels and stuff, but he got out of comics after he was a kid. But he read them as a kid.
You're so lucky, man.
And then
that your parents like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they totally understand all of this, but
they
were supportive early on. My dad co-signed on the loan to get us started here. So,
oh wow, man! What's your dad's name?
Dan.
Shout out to Dan.
So yeah,
love it.
So
love it,
they've been supportive of it, even if I think at times they're like, you spend a lot of energy on this.
Hey, there's worse things.
Sure.
That's an interesting topic. My parents, I did a video with my mom, and a part of it was I was getting comics, and we're talking about it, and I was getting specifically Ghost Rider was the topic of where we were getting into. She was like, well, how are you getting these things? And I was like, well, it's either you or dad. It's probably your father. But I remember looking at comics before I could read, and it's so hard to describe looking at word bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were just objects that I would just ignore. And I would
follow the story and what
I would follow the artwork. Yeah. But it's so hard to describe, like not being able to read and seeing. God, it's so weird, dude. Just seeing the word bubbles. But it was really just an exercise of ignoring what I didn't understand. But yeah, my mom wasn't into it, and she was like, I described where Ghost Rider's face is melting.
Yeah.
That whole, like, I distinctly remember looking at that as a little kid being horrified. And she was like, well, how'd you get this? And I'm like,
must have been you guys.
The Comic Codes Authority was in full effect, man. I'm a Bronze Age kid. I believe you are too.
Yeah.
Like, we're bronze babies. Fantastic time to be a comic book kid. I fully respect the golden, the silver, and my deal right now is modern, dude. Yeah. I'm all about modern books because that's the future, and one day will be the past. And they'll have, I talked about labels being retroactive in things.
Yeah.
Like the golden age wasn't the golden age until, you know what I mean?
Later on. Yeah, people said later on.
Yeah. So we got the Bronze Age. I think there's copper is a little...
Yeah, I think a lot of people will describe copper. I'm not going to get these years wrong, but yeah, like maybe up to 91 or something like that.
Like maybe Frank Miller,
Yeah.
What would you consider it, the Frank Miller time, or Was Alan Moore and Frank Miller the dark ages? I mean, they got a dark thing going
Yeah,
too.
I mean, I bet, I look at how people, I'm not probably an expert on how these are labeled. I mean, golden is pretty clear. Silver,
Yes.
you have a pretty clear demarcation. And then
Silver's solid.
Even when silver ends and bronze begins, it's like, well, is that Conan number 1? Maybe-ish, right? And then how long does it go? I mean, because I think if you're looking at these mostly go 10 to 15 years, well, then then bronze should be over by the early 80s, right?
That's such a short time.
And so then you're like, so it's copper like the 80s up to the early 90s. And obviously by the time you get into like the comic boom in the 90s, that's a different time. But what's that called?
That was us, man.
Right?
90s. Give me that up. Bam!
And I mean, as far as some labels and things are concerned, we're still in the same time that we were in 92, 94. I mean, I think there's been 2 or 3 ages probably since then. We just don't exactly know.
Is there like a name for the 90s? Because it's a distinct
time. I mean, I think
I've now it's just the 90s.
I've heard people call it like the gimmick age. I've heard it called different things, but
I could see that for sure, dude.
But yeah, I don't know. I would have to research more to speak to it intelligently.
Man, I loved it.
But I do think you've got a different era, in there. That probably is like, if you look at wherever the copper age ends, you probably got about another 15 years. And then, like I said, we probably had 2 ages almost since then.
Yeah, I think the copper age is like a really short period of time from the research or like from what I've heard other people talk about. Mm-hmm. I think it's like just a sliver after the bronze, maybe.
Yeah, something like 86, 91.
And then and then you get the dark age. It's obvious, right? Frank Miller, the Dark Knight Returns, and then you got Alan Moore with the Watchmen.
Yeah, I bet some of that overlaps with the copper, depending on who's labeling it.
Yeah, you're right. But there is a very distinct adult-driven.
Yeah. Where things get kind of grim and gritty.
Yeah, it really became adult-driven, dark, fantastic, man. Like the stuff that was coming out was like Watchmen, like I totally enjoyed. The Dark Knight, believe it or not, dude, I haven't read that.
Now's the time. Now, anytime.
Everyone's gonna be like, man, what a piece of junk you are, dude. Yeah, so I would love to, and I don't know how much it costs, but yeah, what's it running price wise? It's a graphic novel, right?
Yeah, you can get the graphic novel. They're probably, if they haven't come out with a compact classic of it yet, I bet they do.
That's what I'll have to do.
But the regular graphic novel, I think, is only maybe $20.
Yeah. Like there's no excuse, right? What's my problem?
Might as well go for it. You like Frank Miller?
Yeah.
Now, you've read Batman Year One?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some videos on it. Totally loved it.
Well, yeah, might as well do Dark Knight. That's kind of the end cap, the beginning and the end there.
So there's year 2 and year 3. Year 3 was the McFarlane run, wasn't it? Where he gets his gun rule, I think. I haven't read it, so
I feel like that's year 2. And then I think year 3.
It is, dude. It is.
Is the one that maybe has the Perez covers and is more about when he meets Robin.
Yeah, I think. So I have year 1. I have year 3. I need to get year 2. It was I was on eBay kind of scanning for that. And I mean, dude, I'm running into like $100 maybe to get the full. I think there's 3 or 4 issues.
It can be kind of expensive. I think they did a DC Finest of it here pretty recently.
Yeah.
Which isn't too bad. But they're findable. Cool, it's just that McFarlane cover, it gets pretty expensive, I think.
Yeah, dude, McFarlane. Speaking of McFarlane.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this bad boy. And I've talked about this on the channel. You want to hold it up?
Sure.
So we've got Amazing Spider-Man $2.99. Now, this is what McFarlane says is the first appearance of Venom. Is that correct?
You know what? Maybe. There's $2.98, and then which he did, and then $2.99, and then $300 is where obviously. But there's certainly probably at least a cameo in here. He may say it's enough to be a first full appearance.
Yeah, I think that was his statement. I'll research it more that way. I'm on target. But what I talk about on the channel is like 300 is like the collectors have collectively, no pun intended, but they've said, yeah, this is the one.
Right.
But I don't want that. I want $2.99.
I mean, it's sort of like the Hulk 180, 181 deal, right?
Oh, wow, dude.
181, Wolverine's on the cover,
Yeah.
That's the one that's way more expensive, but he definitely shows up in 180.
Yes, you're right. You're totally right. So that's an interesting topic. The collectors really drive
Sure.
what is.
I mean, there's Gambit has the same issue. 266 is where it's in storyline the first time he shows up, but the annual actually ended up coming out before 266.
Yeah.
Chronologically, the annual happens after, but it came out, I think, a week or two before.
It's interesting.
So a lot of people call that one the annual a cameo, and it tends to go for less, but he's fully in it. So
yeah, show me some. I definitely am interested in that one.
Okay.
Just because McFarlane said, I don't want to follow the crowd, like getting the 300, but show me some more stuff.
Okay, well, I didn't really organize all this. We bought 2 or 3 collections, well, maybe 3 or 4 collections over the last few weeks here.
Yeah, man.
This one has a lot of Hulk in it, so this was actually just stuff I was going to price. I don't know if you are. Some of this I think is maybe Dale Keown era, who.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Gary Frank was also on the book around this time.
Totally.
So there's a couple of great artists there. What else in here is interesting? This is just some more recent stuff.
Inhumans. Boy, that's like I don't want to say underrated, but they don't get enough love, I think.
There's some Iron Man from this era, which this is my favorite armor.
Me too, man.
The Silver Centurion armor.
For sure. That's the 80s.
So there's some of those.
Yeah, totally love it, man. Oh, dude, I have this one. You're fixing it.
Yeah,
there's something about that cover that just rocks. You know what I mean? Like,
I collected this whole era of Hulk.
I have a bunch too, man.
Pretty much the whole Peter David run. This gets into a little bit earlier stuff.
Wow, there you go.
Which I'm not as familiar with, but you got MODOK and MODAM.
That's great, dude. That's great. I like it, bro.
So yeah.
Oh wow, look at that crazy one.
Yeah, honestly this is an era I'm a little less familiar with. I don't think I've read all these Hulks, but
would that fly today? Like
I don't really think so.
Like that's a very controversial.
This is a Kevin Nolan cover.
Wow.
And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but Kevin Nolan just followed me on Substack, so I'm very excited about that.
Man, shout out to him.
Yeah, he might unfollow me after this. I don't know.
Man. Like, I don't think my channel has that kind of traffic. You know what I mean? Like, right now, like, we've got a lot of leeway.
So
I'm loving this Hulk action,
here's some
man.
This is a Dale Keown.
Yeah, he was very awesome.
Just really was a great Hulk artist.
It went well with the whole the author.
Peter David?
Yes.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to that guy, man. Like,
these are just some more recent ones around. I think this is the Donny Cates run.
Man, you got the little Spider-Man covers. Like, I've noticed a lot of that lately on variant covers. They'll highlight someone. That's pretty stinking cool.
Donny Cates, I have not read this run yet, but I like his work a lot. I know we had like a car wreck or something and was out of the scene for a while, but hopefully he's coming back.
Yeah, man.
I read that he was maybe working on something and was going to come back. So, yeah, there's a lot from his run of Hulk here.
Love that Wolverine costume.
But yeah, he wrote, you know, that Thanos wins arc that was really big, and he's wrote some Venom. Donny Cates is really good author.
Like this run right here was so weird to me, dude. It was like right after the Immortal Hulk, and wasn't it like a spaceship?
I believe that is correct.
Was so
I actually
weird.
didn't read these yet.
It's bizarre.
But I do like Donny Cates as a rule. And then I just have this
FF. Dude, look at that bad boy.
And this stack as well.
His mission. Destroy the that's an oldie, man.
Yep, yeah, back in the Jack Kirby era. So yeah, just some stuff I'm pricing. But we always are.
Yeah, man.
It seems like you buy a collection and you try to go through and get the stuff that's like the most expensive to try to start making your money back. But then there's always a bunch of stuff the price come out of it. So
yeah, dude, you got a lot of good stuff in that stack, man.
We've been buying. I don't know if it's sometimes November you get that people are like, I need some Christmas money. I've got this box I haven't done anything with.
This is the time right here.
So we can probably end up buying a few extra collections along this point of the year.
You got anything else you want to show? Like highlight? Like I got the capabilities of edit.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let me find a few things and we'll
check it out, bro. Boom, back with more.
All right, hey, so Tony suggested I find some stuff. We bought, I don't know, at least 4 or 5 collections in the last few weeks. So I thought, well, I'll show a handful of things just to kind of have some interesting stuff to talk about. Maybe there's
For sure.
there's a lot of stores that have a lot of high dollar stuff. I don't know that we always have a ton of high dollar stuff. We have, I think, what is interesting stuff sometimes.
Me too.
And so, a lot of what we're doing is promoting reading, but there's some collectability to some of this. So we talk about that too. So one of the McFarlane Hulk issues. That might be the first McFarlane Hulk issue. I thought, well, we've been talking about McFarlane. That might be interesting to.
You might be right, dude.
Bring out this also with Peter David.
Yeah.
I don't really know what goes on in this Star Wars, but I looked it up and it looked like it was kind of expensive. So that's kind of a cool.
Wow.
We actually had sold almost all of our Marvel Star Wars, so I went to try to buy some collections and get some stuff. So we have some Star Wars that we're filling back up.
That's an interesting one for sure. Got Han Solo.
I'm always talking to people about Starman.
I love Starman and James Robinson.
That's one of my go-to pitches that people are into.
I dig it, dude.
The character, it's a great series.
Yeah, I agree. And affordable.
Really is not that expensive to get the whole series.
Yeah, that's another point I make is like there's affordable stuff.
Great reading. If you're looking for something to read, that series is, it's 70-something issues, and
for sure.
Most of the issues are under $10. So most of them might be less than that, but you can do pretty good.
Yeah.
So we buy different stuff for different people. Sometimes people will trade in like limited variants. They were into them and they decided to go a different route, whatever. So we sometimes will buy or trade those out. Yeah, I think some of these are some good looking ones. There's a couple. There's maybe one artist in here I actually was gonna.
Yeah, they a lot of variants. We talk about it quite a bit. Where it's like, man, if something catches your eye and you like it, get it.
So this is what Zerdy. I think you've collected some of his stuff, maybe, or no?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's like that's a good cover though. If you're into the girly covers, there you go.
Yeah, and then the DNA.
There you go. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
I think, you maybe you're familiar with. Something that's really been moving a lot for us lately is Invincible with the series on Amazon Prime.
That's a hot one, dude.
So, I'm trying to scout those out as much as I can.
Issue 1 is like, what, $1,000?
Yeah, probably $1,000. The Jim Lee variant from the New 52 era.
Nice. He's good, man. For real.
Another Star Wars, or just, again, stuff that we've been trying to kind of restock.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always trying to restock sort of the Silver Age Marvel stuff. That stuff always goes when we have it out. So
yeah, it seems like Silver Age is the sweet point in this time. You know what I mean? Like
a lot of it seems to move for us. Some of it means we price it too cheap or not. But
right.
Anyway, there's a couple other.
Dude, that Spider-Man on the
80s-ish ones.
Legit.
This is one that's kind of a key. Spider-Man versus Wolverine.
Oh wow! Yeah, you're right. Isn't that their first?
It might be their first fight. There's a death of a character, and I don't want to spoil it for people. Anyway, this is pretty key during the whole Hobgoblin era. This is a pretty key book. So,
yeah, I've seen it, dude. Like for sure.
Joe's continue to move really well for us. The new G.I. Joe series is one of my favorite series.
Me too.
And I like the continuation of the Hama one. So anyway, we tend to move G.I. Joe's a lot.
Hama's awesome.
This one is issue 4, so pretty early on.
Yeah. I've got that whole run.
I feel like there is a key thing to this. I'm not going to remember what it is. Maybe.
I'll look it up.
I want to say it could be like the first Tombstone or something, but I might be wrong. But there's something about this book that just stands out to me as being
a key issue.
We got a couple other McFarlanes in here.
Yeah, man, that dude couldn't do wrong. Look at that. Superman homage.
Yeah.
That's freaking cool.
That whole run is great. I remember... I was posting about this on Substack. I remember me and my brother would just go to all the different shops and the flea markets when he was trying to complete his McFarlane run, and we'd just be looking all over for him, trying to find all the McFarlane issues.
It was an interesting time, man.
I mean, I was collecting X-Men. You're trying to find like some of the Liefeld New Mutants around the same time because those were hot at the same time. But he was a big McFarlane guy trying to complete that McFarlane run, which he eventually did. So.
Yeah, and me personally, I never knew. I was very ignorant to popularity. I was reading Frank Miller Daredevil and had no idea what I had in my hand.
So I mentioned earlier there was a book that my brother spent $3 on. And it was like, you spent $3 on a comic. It was the that Frank Miller, I think 184, where he's got the gun. He's got the No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that's what he spent the $3 on. This is actually a What If issue that Frank Miller did, featuring Daredevil and Elektra. So if you're looking to kind of complete out your Frank Millers.
Oh yeah, yeah. And What Ifs are cool too.
Another kind of older.
Look at that bad boy.
Tales to Astonish there.
Submariner be doing his thing.
Yeah, a couple more from the McFarlane run.
Oh my god.
All cool
dude.
stuff.
You got to price those out still?
Yeah. I'll probably try and do that today. And then just a couple other interesting things to show you, but then that may be all I really totally figured out. But there's another Star Wars. And then these are just kind of fun. I don't know how much people collect these now, but Man from Uncle.
Yeah, I remember that
was
show.
Big. Those are big in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So
photograph covers. That's another.
That's kind of fun.
People get into that. Like,
so yeah, there's always a ton of stuff that I'm working on, and I like to get it out there for people. But yeah, so right now we have been buying a lot of collections, and hopefully we'll get them priced out there so people can buy them and take them to your own house.
You're killing it, dude. You guys are killing it, man.
A handful of Kirby FFs in this one, so.
That's insane, bro.
If I'm going to do a random promo, I'd say if you're coming in or if you're even in your comic shop, you're not anywhere near us, ask for Comic Shop News, because I've been writing for Comic Shop News, but I've also got a comic strip called Team America. It's going to be coming up in issues 2000 through 2005, like December 17th through mid-January every week. I would love to have people pick it up. So if you let your store know, hey, I'd like to get Comic Shop News, I'd like to check that out. It's a good way to find out what's going on in comic shops. And like I said, we're adding a comic strip in for this 6-week period. Add just an extra little bonus for you.
Yeah, I need to get a copy of that. How do I do that?
Well, you are here to, you can put it on your list here if you want, but also people can come in and say,
I need to buy one, dude. I really do. Is it out now, or do you have to pre-order?
So the ones that I have, you can get this week's, but the ones that I have the comic strip in will be in on December 17th. And we'll be doing a few things here where you can maybe buy a few extra merch tie-ins and things to kind of make it a little extra, a few extra bonuses. But anywhere in the country, you should be able to go in and request it at your store. And a lot of places it's free, some places it's $1, but should be pretty affordable.
How do I get the Team America one? That's the one I need.
Just let us know, and we will.
All right, we'll hook it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man,
anybody,
that's how we do, people.
If you're anywhere near Speeding Bullet, just let us know, and we'll be sure to get it for you.
Any parting words?
And hey, thanks, Tony, for having me on. We've been talking about doing this for a while. And it's, we've just been busy, but I appreciate getting to get on, and hopefully I made some amount of sense.
Totally.
But totally love comics. I'm glad to share the love of comics with people. Dan, our main manager, as well. Rachel, my daughter who works here.
Yeah, they're cool too.
Good at all that. And like I said, right now I'm kind of in my Team America promotion phase. So
anybody who can, I need to get on that for sure.
Who can pick that up or ask at your store, hey, can we get Comic Shop News? I would appreciate it. And
Team America, baby.
We'd love to hear. I'd love to hear what you think about it. Maybe Tony will do a review when he gets.
That's what I want to do. That's why I need it. So man, dap it up. Going out.
Appreciate it,
people. See ya. Yeah, they get the.